Alright, welcome back to Ni no Kuni 2. And I believe we are set for a final boss run, which is, you know, the way final bosses tend to go in games is could be, you know, 2, 3, 4 fights. So, or one really long one. So, but I'm thinking, like, based on what we've got, we're probably gonna have to go through at least a couple. I mean, the way they set this up, it looks like we're going straight to it. What's wrong with me? No, Roland, what's wrong with you? Oh. Okay. Like, seriously, we need to figure out what's happening to Roland.
You have done well to make it so far.
That's enough, Doloran!
This ceremony ends here and now.
Does it indeed? You mean that you do not share my vision, Roland? A vision of a better world?
Uh-oh.
A pity. I had hoped that you, of all people, would understand.
Roland!
What did you do to me?
Me? Why, nothing at all. You have the Horned One to thank for this. It means to protect you, for if harm comes to either one of us, it comes to the other also.
What?
You mean... you and Roland are... you are...
Yes, Leander. You see it now. See what others must be shown.
Doloran! You're... I'm...
Do you see? We are connected. We are the same. Defeat me, and you
I guess it shouldn't be as much of a surprise, but they didn't seem to be playing with that like they did in the first one.
He is correct, I am afraid. There are those in your world whose souls are inextricably linked with the souls of those in this one.
It was a thing from the first one, but they hadn't touched on it in this one. But obviously Roland came into this world, but the shadow thing I didn't think was...
The more power he has gained, the stronger his effect on you has become. This proves the connection.
But how can this... what does it mean?
It means you face a dilemma, boy. You have no choice but to join me, Roland. You know it deep in your heart.
Oh, I have a choice, all right. I always have a choice. I'm a president, a king. And from the day I took my throne, I knew that if it came to it, if it would help my people, I would gladly give my life.
No! What?
Besides, if I can't kill you, you can't kill me either, right? If I die, you die.
Very true. Which is why, if you
Oh!
will not join me, I must banish you instead to a dimension where you will no longer be a danger to either of us.
Of course. I think I see now why I was brought here.
Please, enlighten us.
Your country, Allegoria, it was destroyed. And my country was destroyed too. You and I are the same. Two kings, with no kingdoms left to rule. So we were given a chance. One last chance to save our homes. But don't you see? The kingdom the Horned One has given you, it's not really the place you once ruled. I'm going to make you see. I'm going to defeat the Horned One and remind you who you really are.
Who I really am. You think you know me? You know nothing!
Oh.
Enlighten me.
Oh, man.
You will delay my plans no longer.
Ruler of a revenant realm.
I will remain.
Oh, you're right at it! He is after him. Oh, crap it. Okay, hang on. Hang on. He is... Okay, I'm having a problem. I can't. He is after me too much. Okay. This is not good. I can't. Oh man. Okay. Man, he is all over me. All I can do is dodge. Where'd he go? Crap! Oh!
Show us what you got.
Dodge it, dodge it. I don't know where he is. Crap! Oh. Nope, nope, nope. Ooh, where is he? Ah!
I love you little guys.
Nope. Nope. I can't get enough magic going because I'm not dealing any damage.
Hey,
Crap. Hang on. Alright, so we gotta get in there and... Are you kidding me? This is not alright. I was trying to figure out how to deal with that attack. I don't know. No! Leave me alone! He does not give us time to heal.
Show us what you got.
I can't deal with this. I'm struggling, guys.
Voila! Now's your...
What is this? Hold on. I think I need an Obi-Gon. Alright. And mix. Alright. What do we got? We only have one of those. I just don't know how to deal with this.
Hey,
Nope. Where is he? No, that was the wrong way to roll! Shit! Ah. We're not healing him, are we?
Now's your time to shine.
Let's make sure we're prepared for this before. Crap, I can go. Nope.
Voila!
Ah, not very. Yep.
all right.
Holy crap.
Show us what you got.
Here goes.
Oh no. Oh no. I feel like we just have to bail. I don't know what else to do except avoid those guys. We can't do any damage as far as I can tell. block. That's all he can do, but I'm almost out of angel tears. Oh, leave me alone. Crap. Alright, see if we can survive this long enough to cast a healing spell. No! God dang it! I'm just trying to survive. I'm needing too much HP back. Alright, where is he? Oh, this game got seriously Dark Souls all of a sudden. No! Oh, that's cheap. Ah, freaking. Come on, Roland, take him out. Yes! Alright, I'm not gonna celebrate yet. Still, my powers are not sufficient. Seems I underestimated you. I just don't know. I had to go through a lot of items there. I don't know.
Forward!
I feel like we barely skated through that, and I'm sure the worst is yet to come.
What in the... Is it over?
No. It's never over.
Whoa!
Transmission from Zip. It sounds like the souls are returning. He did it, only just perhaps, but he did it.
Tiny!
Mission flippin' accomplished. I ain't holding my breath. But it's not over yet. We need to do something about the horned one. Until it's gone for good, nobody's safe. Can we save? Really, we're getting leaf book posts now? Do we get to save? Let me leave. Praise the sun. Ah, there it is. I was like, where'd it go? It's like, it was like right outside the door. Oh, yes. Please, yes. Did I level up with that? Guess we'll find out when I put the save file in here. No. Oh my gosh. Whoo, guys. How do we sit on items? Alright, 22, 28, 9. Soarway Suite, 6 Sensor Sage's Secrets. Angel Tears. Okay, we should have enough to get like a full restock on, say for the Hush Begons and One and All Begons. Okay, Tactic Tweaker. What I got? I mean, do you think one of these will count? I mean, I know he's probably not that at the. He's either brute or hard body. Maybe split this. But I don't even know that it's gonna count. Also, fire, confusion, water, poison, light and dark, and wind and sleep. Is he gonna use poison? Would he use? Dark? And it never hurts to have some poison resistance, I suppose. I just don't want to be poisoned. I don't have enough things to heal it, you know? So that's why I've been... Yeah, screw it. I can't just... I don't have enough crap to heal it. Let's just stick with what we got. Okay. I don't want to. I just barely made it through that fight. And this guy's gonna be even harder. Seems like we've finished off with Dalaran, though. We'll see if we can make it by with what we got. I guess if I lose, then we can start seeing about going around and finding more items that we can use. We'll try to use some food as well in this next battle.
You're finished, Dalaran. Your plan has failed.
You'll never rule the world. Never!
That's my job.
Rule the world. You have read too many fairy tales, boy. The world was never my prize.
What?
It was a beautiful place, my home. A realm of peace and prosperity. I was the king of Allegoria. A young man handed the crown too soon. None loved my realm more than I. But I was conceited, arrogant. Our kingmaker was a being known as Alessandra.
That's Alessandra? Wow. Pretty.
In strengthening our bond, I committed the greatest of all sins. fell in love. And love between king and kingmaker is an offense against the will of the gods.
Oh no.
As punishment, she was cursed to spend the rest of her days in the guise of the Horned One and cast along with Allegoria into another dimension. And so, I vowed to bring her back.
I'm so sorry. I didn't
She
know
and
this.
my beloved kingdom.
I thought I had to bring her up. I'm so sorry.
I set out to acquire all the king's bonds of our world, that I might use their combined power to reawaken Alessandra.
How did you know that was even possible? The guise of the Horned One, you said. I take it the creature we see is but an outer shell within which Alessandra lies trapped. If so, the strength of the King's bonds might serve to reach that which lies dormant deep within, to reconnect King and Kingmaker, and free her of her prison.
It is as you say. If Alessandra can be revived, Allegoria may yet rise from the ashes. And I shall have regained my beloved and my kingdom both. Now you know what it is I seek. Roland, if my realm were to be restored, yours too might return. You would be reunited with your family, with your son. Surely you would join me if such an outcome were your reward.
He can't. He won't. Not that way. Just because you would do anything to bring a loved one back, it doesn't mean you should.
What is happening to me?
That horrible black stuff comes from the Horned One, you know. Duller and by ears, just channeling it like. But it looks like it's finally getting the better of him. That Tory was infected by it from the start.
I will restore them. I must. Alessandra,
Don't make me fight him again, please.
Allegoria, both shall live again.
You'd really do that? You'd destroy whole countries, steal countless souls, just to get what you want? You think that's love? Then you don't deserve to love. And you sure as hell don't deserve to be a king.
You would defy me. You are me. We want the same thing. You wish to be reunited with those you love, just as I do.
No, it's not that simple.
My crimes will be more than outweighed by the revival of Allegoria, by the return of all that has been lost. Rise, beloved kingdom! Live again!
Whoa. I'm sitting here holding my breath. This game has me on edge. I said I get really worked up about final boss fights. Because I've had some bad experiences in the past. Not being able to finish games.
Alessandra, my love. You are free at last!
Mwahaha. Oh dear. Well, not quite the beauty that we saw in the picture.
What is the meaning of this? You are not my Alissa! If she is truly lost, what will become of Allegoria? What will become of me?
I do not understand. So that wasn't her?
No.
I sense the same darkness as before. I fear it was merely the Horned One unleashed. Which begs the question, where is Alessandra? Never mind that. What about that there tear in the very skies themselves? Did you see how the edges were crumbling? If we can't close it up somehow, the whole world could be sucked inside. We need to close it. We need to beat that thing. Think you can fly us up there, Lofty? What are you saying? Of course I flippin' can. Come on, Evan. Let's get up there and give old horny boy a piece of our minds. I suppose we did go to all the trouble of restoring Mornstar. It would be a shame not to use it. Mornstar? The very sword over which Alessandra and I swore our pact so long ago. Really now? Which might explain why it's the only thing that can penetrate the Horned One's defenses. Alright everyone, come on. It's time to defeat the Horned One and return peace to our world. Oh. So Dalaran was tainted by that stuff too, huh? No wonder he went crazy. Wait, so was the whole of Allegoria tainted too? No, now's not the time to be thinking about that. We've got a final showdown to focus on.
Really?
I'm getting a lot of, like, audio glitches and it's bothering me. So Dalaran was just an old softy all along. I'd never have thought he was doing all this because of some girl. Do you really think beating the Horned One's going to set her soul free, though? Only one way to find out, I suppose. So Dalaran's tale weren't as simple as it might have seemed, eh? You could almost feel sorry for the swab. Well, he may be a villain, but he's an oddly honest one, I'll give him that. Which makes me think that this sharing a soul with Roland nonsense may not be nonsense at all.
If I may be so bold.
If we do not intervene soon, the Terran space created by the Horned One will engulf us all. We must go after him, Your Majesty. The consequences of inaction are too dreadful to contemplate.
Thanks. Thanks,
Evan, for saying what you did to Dalaran, I mean. I don't know why, but I just couldn't bring myself to tell him he was wrong. But you could. Guess that's why you're the king in this whole equation. Elisa, why? Basically, he's telling himself that it's just, it's a very hard thing, I guess, for Roland to come up against. You know, it's almost like the two halves of himself. The part that wants to do what it needs to do to be with his family, but the part of him that also knows that that's wrong. If you want to stand a chance beating the Horned One, you'll need to use Mornstar, you know, the Sword of Unity. Don't go rushing in like a pranny with some other weapon, whatever you do. But you knew that already. Well, I have it equipped. 2 arms! Alright. God, I'm so nervous. It's like a terrifying sight, isn't it? You just look up in the sky and the world's literally falling apart. Just shattering into pieces. Gotta give this game props for varied environments, and the boss fights have been varied enough. Stop glitching audio.
Everybody alright?
I think so. Where are we?
Don't worry, my butt broke my fall. It's okay. We only landed on the ground. King Breaker. Oh, well, that's not good.
ready for this?
Come on!
No, I'm not ready for this. I guess I can be switching back and forth if I need to between characters. But let's see. I don't know if it matters that I'm using Morningstar actively. I am like not doing any damage.
Come over by here when you get a chance, man. I've got a bit of lofty magic to you.
Oh wait, yeah, there we go. All right, Lofty is part of the equation now. All right, we gotta hold X. Whoa.
Show us what you got.
Ah, crap it, I missed that one.
Now's your time to shine.
Alright, okay, so this is a different kind of way of activating this, I guess. Oh, we do not do a heck of a lot of damage to this guy. AoE. What do you got? AoE. Oh man, this is gonna be a... gonna be a fight of stamina. Crap. Oh. AoE. Lofty. Boom. Nope, we just missed it.
Now's your time.
Owie. Need to take my hits where I can though. Well, I've got this activated. Alright, get out. Let's set up some healing. Rolling. endurance fight. It really is. Oh crap! I walked right into that one. I thought I was okay. Ooh, what are you doing? Oh man! Ah, crapola. Nope, I don't know what he's doing.
Brace yourself. I reckon things are about to get hairy.
Oh dear. Alright. Eloise! Alright. Get a little help from these guys. Any damage we can do is going to be better than nothing. Now what? Whoa! Nope. The heck is this? No! That's alright, your power-up is giving me free healing. Whoa! This is impossible, man! Whoa, 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 whoa! I'm having trouble, like, controlling where I need to be here. Nope! Alright. Good AI. Purple bar needs to go bye-bye. Can't see where these things are coming from. Ah, bollocks. Ah, I just blocked for that one. Alright. Wait, what did he say? Do we need to be getting back? Whoa.
Now's your time to shine.
Holy crapola. Ah. Risk reward on some of this stuff is... Nope! Nope! Oh.
Voila! I love you, little guy.
Howie. Not worth it. Not worth it.
And voila!
Oh, man.
Now's your time to shine.
Holy crap.
I love you.
Howie. No! Whoa! Hang on, what are you doing? Ah, I walked right into it. Crap.
Voila!
Ah. Bollocks.
Show us what you got.
Ah! Now what? Whoa. Alright. Purple not good. Purple no bueno. Ah. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and use one of these. Whoa. Okay. Yep.
Now's your time to
How did I get out of that one? Gotta get this purple bar off. I filled it a little bit. Where is this first one coming from? Ah! 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 Ah!
I love you, little guy.
Whoopsie. Oh, brace for impact.
And voila! Now's your
just sucking like usual at that. I just decided to block. Alright.
Show us what you got.
Ah, balls. Way to go, Roland. I think I'll take after you. I think we're gonna have to wait for this one. Grab it. Got it. Oh no. These things got to go. Oh man, this. Oh, I was blocking! There I was blocking! Oh. Alright. Alright, these things got to go. Crap. Okay. Roland is able to avoid that somehow, but me, I am not talented at it. Ah, there was Lofty. Nope. 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 Rolling. Owie. Ah. Hey. Not cool, man. Oh man. Oh. I would rather heal than take the free shot. That was me not getting out of the way of the AoE. Man, you can take a hit. Ouchie. He's angry. Ah! Roll right into that. Come on. You need to die.
Show us what you got.
We're going for it. I need Lofty again. Oh! Whoa, whoa, no rage mode. No rage mode. No rage mode. Oh, super fast charge. Ah! We're all powered up. No, not another. All right, Evan. Heal up. Alright, let's still do this proper like. is it, guys. We can do it. All we gotta do is get through purple bar. Alright. Seemed like I was pretty good if I was like right up on him. Are working now? Ground pound. Crap. Gonna take a little damage on this one. Maybe not. Go up, Evan. Ice beams of doom. Let's get him, guys. I'm sweating. Aw, epic finishing blow.
Forevermore, for the whole world.
Whew, that was a proper test of endurance, guys. Yeah.
Alessandra, is it really you?
It is, my love. But you did not free me from within the Horned One.
I'm filled with so many emotions right now.
The Horned One was not born of the wrath of the gods as you had thought. I wanted to be with you. I wanted it so much that I gave up the power of the Kingmaker.
What?
I could have clued him in, lady.
Once freed, that vast, insatiable power gave rise to a monster. The Horned One.
No.
Do you know how Kingmakers are born? They are born when a soul is sacrificed in order that a great power may be tamed.
Oh.
In unbinding my soul, I unleashed that power. By abandoning it, I committed an unforgivable crime. A crime for which I was punished.
So you have not returned to me?
Forgive me, my love. I am that which sealed away the Horned One's power. Only through my sacrifice could the power which poured forth from him be contained.
Then, by unleashing him, I have undone what good you wrought.
No, my love. For a great evil has left the world. The Horned One is defeated. And so, my role in containing him has come to an end. My soul can be at peace, at long, long last. Thank you for never ceasing to love me. We will meet again, dear heart. Not in this world, but somewhere, someday. Goodbye, my love, my darling. Goodbye.
Alyssa, no. Not yet. Alyssa!
I guess not everything has a fairy tale ending.
Dalaran.
Alessandra is no more. Allegoria will not rise again. All that I have loved is lost. Roland, tell me, what great wrong did I do to deserve this? Was it in surrendering to love that I erred? Or in accepting a crown of which I was not worthy?
You did no wrong. You just did what you could to keep your love for Alessandra alive and save your kingdom. That's life. People do what they can, try to live as best they can. And then the tide of history comes and sweeps them all away. My country was swept away too. I tried to stop it. Tried to prevent the war that would end it all. But you can't hold back the tide. And so it rolled in.
I have an idea. Why don't we make a new Allegoria?
A what?
Huh?
And everybody's just looking like, well, we built Evermore. Why don't we just build Allegoria? I got some Legos in the back.
If it can't be brought back, I mean, we can build a new one instead.
A new one?
We did it. We built a new kingdom from nothing. A kingdom where everyone could live happily ever after. It was small at first, but it grew and grew, and thanks to its wonderful people, it eventually became a great nation. You can do the same, Dalaran.
You truly think this possible?
Maybe that's why I was brought here. The country Evan and I built together. It changed things for you, Dalaran. For this whole world. No one needs to be a slave to the past anymore. Now we can look to the future.
Evan Petty-Whiskered Tildrum. You are yet young, but you are a great king indeed.
You really think so?
I will start afresh. I will build a new kingdom. For the sake of my departed subjects. For the sake of my beloved.
Hear, hear!
Still trying to wrap my head around the fact that wasn't Allegoria like 2,000 years ago? Are you like immortal? So what all happens now? Look at that. Sky pirates not killing people. Ah. What a wonderful world.
We come before you today to make a solemn oath in the presence of all our peoples.
United we stand as one single land.
There he goes.
Well now.
So it's time, huh?
Hey!
There you are, Roland. Are you?
Hey.
And here I was, hoping you wouldn't have to see this. Looks like this is goodbye. I guess it's about time I was heading back home. You're not going to stay here with me? Doesn't look that way. Besides, you have Dalaran. This is like my other self. I can feel it. It's pulling me back. But your world is... Yeah. Before I came here, I watched it be destroyed. I may be returning to nothing but death and despair, I know that. But whatever's waiting for me, I'll be able to face it. I built this kingdom with you. If I can do that, I can do anything. You taught me a lot, Evan Petty-Whiskered Tildrum. I won't forget. Not ever. Roland. We really have come a long way from Roland dropping in on him in his bedroom and as weird as that sounds. And then just being like, oh yeah, you're a king, whatever. Let me go look around.
Well, Evan, see you around.
Goodbye, Roland.
I felt kind of sad. So what is going to happen with Roland and his world? Think he learned something or accomplished something that could help him?
Evan?
Oh, right. The boy we've been talking to. I totally forgot about him.
Who are you?
I think you know.
You're King Ferdinand, aren't you? You've been helping me all along.
King Ferdinand.
Yes and no. I am Ferdinand. But it's really you who's been helping me.
What?
What?
Everything I've told you, you told me first.
I don't understand.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it too. Hold on. Ferdinand was who?
This is going to sound strange, but I can send my mind through time. It's a gift I've had since I was born. And using it to visit you seemed like the obvious thing to do. I mean, who wouldn't want to find out what his famous father was like as a child?
Okay. Huh.
Father?
Yes, you are my father, and I am your son.
What?
I promised that I would live up to your legendary achievements, but before I could do that, I had to see them for myself. things I said to you, those words of wisdom, they were all yours.
Okay. Wrapping my head around that one. They like to throw in a lot of weird things. Okay.
Ferdinand lived long ago. He...
I'm afraid that was just Bodley's little joke. She's no historian, you see. She's a seer. She didn't tell you what had happened. She told you what was going to happen.
Oh.
About how I would become the first king to unite the whole world.
What?
So you did? I mean, you will?
Yes, you started it all by uniting the 5 great realms. But there were plenty of others. Smaller perhaps, but realms just the same. Each with its own particular problems. Poverty, war, and any number of other things. None of them easy to solve. But solve them you did. One by one by one.
And you...
Yes.
Stop glitching,
I
audio.
carried on what you started. And in the end, I finished it.
Okay, so we just got a little misled there. And it turns out that Ferdinand was actually his son, who's been talking to him this whole time because he has a gift for being able to mind travel through time. And I guess this is grown-up Ferdinand?
I come before you, a true king at last. I, Ferdinand, have brought together the peoples of every nation under the heavens. The great work my beloved father began is finally complete, and the world stands united under a single banner. I hereby swear, in the name of King Evan, to safeguard this hard-won peace, for as long as I shall live.
And with that, my promise to Nella was fulfilled at long, long last.
That was a picture of all of them, including Roland, I believe, in there. No, That's pretty. That is some pretty music. We gotta find out what happened with Roland's world, right? I guess we don't have to. What a good song. So, okay. I mean, it's a fairly... I was taken by surprise with the Roland Dalaran connection, because, as I was saying, there was those connections in the first game, and it was based around that. With this, we really only had the one person given as an example of being not from that world, and that was Roland. So, this is really good artwork too. So I mean, there was surprises and revelations that were fun to come across. I think it's maybe a kind of an interesting little tie-in to have the son being there, time traveling, talking to his father in the past to try to figure out how he became a great king to be able to better follow in his footsteps. It works as a way of like foreshadowing and you know, like discussing the happenings of what's going on in the game, but like, maybe not totally necessary, but it doesn't bother me. It just wasn't, like, along with the other things that were going on, wasn't the most hard-hitting revelation, but, you know, I ended up liking characters more than I thought I would, and less than I thought I would, and I don't know specifically, but I guess maybe not less. I guess I really didn't use the Sky Pirates. I didn't use Tanny and Batu really after a point, but that's because I had Leander and Bracken, and Bracken ended up having to carry the last bit of the game to make sure I didn't plow through all of my healing items. But I felt it very important to have Evan and Roland as part of the party, especially in the last battles. It wouldn't seem right without it. And based on the damage, like all the stats on him, I mean, like I said, at best Leander could come in for Evan, but I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't have wanted to. We're gonna sit through the credits here and figure out how things did. There was definitely a lot of there was some emotional impact to moments that, you know, like you would just be trucking along and doing your thing, and then all of a sudden kind of something going on, and it hits that emotional note, and they didn't even have to build up to it. It was just there all of a sudden, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It depends on the type of game and how it's doing it, and this one very much is one of those journey games. You know, you're having these travels with your friends, and you're meeting new people and building up, and then, you know, you come across something, you know, that is essentially story related or something like that. Sometimes not. Like looking at that side quest that just suddenly roll in background, you know, reminiscing about his son and how Evan reminds him of him. And then of course the revelation about his son and that little horror movie moment we got. That was insane. And then the parting, you know, still got me. So definitely some ups and downs with it, but I think it worked for this style of game and for what this game was going for. And ultimately, it's kind of like a storybook. I mean, looking at the art style, looking at the story, it is almost fairy tale-ish. And so, you know, it feels like we're just kind of going along, we're not getting much, and then you just kind of have this, and I was doing this for this, and it still worked, I think, you know, again, like I say, because of the style. So let's see if we get any more here. Okay, yeah.
We'll be arriving at the World Unification Summit shortly, Mr. President. Thanks. You seem happy. Not really. We still have a mountain to climb. I can't imagine convincing all the nations of the world to sign up for this will be easy. It's never been done before, I guess, but if you could pull it off, wow.
Oh, it's been done all right.
Really?
Sure. In a little country a long, long way from here.
Got the robes of unity. Okay, so that's basically, we came full circle back to where we started at the beginning, but instead of, like, we didn't get a conversation, we saw them, they said we're approaching the summit, we see a missile blow up the city, and then Roland's just laid out by the caravan there and disappears off into Evan's world. This time, coming across that bridge, and instead of a missile, we have fireworks. And of course, we get more of a discussion about what's going on. So he's trying to basically unite the nations of the world like Evan did, and like he helped Evan do. So there was something that went differently after he got back, that they were able to prevent the disaster that happened. And he was able to do something different. It's kind of, you know, one of those bittersweet moments, because, you know, he had all of that, and then we're gonna go into the save menu. But yeah, so then he did something different, but like we're not getting much story on it. Just something was able to change when he went back. He didn't go back to his dying body on the burning bridge. He went to, I guess, a far enough before that. Like I said, something changed, and I guess that's probably going to be the only thing that eats at me a little bit, is like, it's not like everything has to be tied up in a pretty little package. You know, you can leave some things to the imagination, but something like that, it just feels a little bit vague. It just feels like not mysterious, not, you know, use your imagination or come up with your own conclusions. Just unnecessarily vague. I was hoping for more with all this. I guess we didn't get like as much as you would think background on all of the characters, but we got more, I think, on most of them than we did on Roland there. I mean, they fed us just enough. What am I trying to do here? There you go. Robes of Unity. So he can wear that. And, I don't know. I guess I feel for Evan's world, we got enough. For Roland's, it's not bad, but I mean, we're pretty much left with, you know, he thought his world was a goner, and for some reason when he went back, he was able to save it. But we don't know, I guess we don't know why, and we don't know what came of his son. Like we're told in the description there, he's gravely ill. We get that little, that creepy scene when he passes out, and then, like, we just don't know. So, yeah. But here we stand, and fake Allegoria at the end game. I'll probably do more. I mean, we got DLC that has been planned for this. I don't know exactly how that's going to go. The first one didn't have DLC. I'm not entirely sure what they would do with the DLC in this. So I guess that's another mystery that lies ahead. Maybe they'll add some background in for some of these things. But then again, it could just be, hey, here's new boss fight dungeon things. I honestly don't know. I don't know if they've released a crap ton of details about that yet. We also have the Dreamer doors. I was planning on checking those out, seeing if they're interesting enough to go through, record, guide, something. Now that I'm high enough level, I think we could handle it, or at least a couple of them maybe. I know that there's a whole building in the kingdom dedicated pretty much to that. But yeah, at this point we're basically able to free roam and do all the side quests. I had made that mistake before about the level 4 thing, but essentially we weren't going to be able to get Kingdom level 4 until after, like, until post-game. So, but that's that. I mean, I feel I still enjoyed the game. I feel pretty satisfied with it. And, you know, I think it still hit those emotional notes in the proper areas. And there sometimes was a lot more depth than you expected. So, it was still fun to play, and it's definitely got, if you enjoyed the kingdom building aspect, or working through the strategy of the skirmishes and stuff like that, definitely got a lot for you to look into, a lot for you to do throughout the game, after the game. Again, there's going to be some sort of DLC coming out. How much, I'm not sure exactly the details yet, or anything like that. So, yeah. Good game. I enjoyed it. I was able to get into it, and some very exciting moments, and nerve-wracking moments, and of course I had the, like I said, final bosses drive me nuts. I can't handle it. I always get nervous that I'm under-leveled, or I'm gonna struggle. That one was like perfect. I had to work for it enough to where it felt satisfying, but it didn't just like railroad me, or, you know, I didn't feel like I was working for it. Because at first I thought I was really, really afraid that those final ones, like, I just couldn't keep up with Dollar, and I had no idea what was going on most of the time there. So when it ended, it was just like, whew, relief. I can breathe maybe for a second. I was worried they were going to make me fight them for a second round. They didn't, thank goodness. With the King Breaker, I started to think at first, oh man, we are just not dealing any damage. And I was worried that it was going to get really, either I was just going to get owned completely and be like way under leveled and have to grind fest it, or that it was going to be one of those that got just boring because I'm just having to just whittle away at it. And I did have to whittle away, but it was exciting still. Learning where his tells were and what the different phases he was going through did, and the different attacks, and then of course, you know, your epic build up there at the end when you get your supercharge for the whole group, and it's literally like, all right, this is it. You had him down to that last sliver. You get this purple bar down. It is in the bag. So, very, very, it makes it feel very epic. And like I said, the battles that really counted, those Kingmaker battles, the Kingbreaker battle, Dalaran, it kept it moving, it kept it feeling fresh, and it kept it exciting. You just felt good. You felt cool for being able to get it done and figure it out. And as long as you've been fighting enemies, you know, decent number throughout the game, you're pretty good to go level wise. The tougher battles for me that would get frustrating because I was getting railroaded ended up being more like the optional ones, which very typical for it to be. You'll go fight this like optional or tainted, you know, like the tainted ones, or some optional boss on a side quest that's the same level as this boss that you fight in the story, but the optional one just kicks you to the curb and just throws you out like yesterday's trash, and you're able to actually take on the story one, and that's fairly typical. Like, the optional ones are just always harder, which is fine, because then I get pleasantly surprised that I can defeat a story boss like this. It was like level 72, and I was just like, oh no, and we're not doing anything. We're like taking barely a hair sliver off at a time with a hit, but we did it. I don't know how long exactly that fight went, half hour-ish? I don't know. But that one just on its own with the Kingbreaker. But yeah. I always ramble at the end of these things, trying to kind of discuss it. It'd be nice to get my video series up and running, like, for sharing thoughts on videos. It's just really hard to get a new series going right now. Because I'm just trying to actually play the games. So it's hard enough to just get through that. So, oh man, this has been a trip, and I'm glad I got to finish it. I thank you guys so much. As usual, if you've been checking these videos out, if you and I hope you're enjoying them and enjoying the journeys with me. And it's been a great game. You're welcome to share your thoughts with me in the comments and let me know what you thought of the game. Have you played the game? Did you have different, ways of going about your kingdom building or something like that? Feel free to let me know what you thought of the story and things like that, and what you might hope for out of the DLC, or let me know if you've heard something about the DLC that I just haven't managed to track down yet. Yeah, we'll be moving on probably to... I was gonna go on to Yakuza 0, and then Detroit Become Human came out, and I didn't even know I was gonna get it. And I went to pick up Dark Souls Remastered, so and picked that one up with it. So I've got a pile up of games, so it's probably gonna be Detroit Become Human, probably be my next LP, and then Bunny and Snack series will be with Dark Souls Remastered. So I will see you guys in those series. And yeah, that's Ni no Kuni 2. That's a wrap. Until the DLC or Dreamer Doors, whichever next. See you guys next time.